Spanish.
See if it started now.
Waiting for GFNF, scheduled for 1:55 p.m. Eastern, basically.
What?
It says.
No.
Oh, yeah, I see you, Vince.
Oh, okay. It should be
Yeah.
good then.
Oh, now I do. Yep.
Okay, sick. Yo. Does it have the right title?
Yes.
Yeah.
Daily resell. Yeah. Little delay from when we talk, but I think that's to be expected.
Yeah, there should be. Give me a second. Let's do you want to tell people in our Discord at all?
Sure. I think we could post it in links and info.
Go ahead.
Okay, got it.
Just say we'll do this Monday through Friday, I guess. That's the plan.
Cool.
And we can just do it quickly, it doesn't have to be forever. What's up, Jesse? Or Jess? I don't know. You guys should have chat open too for YouTube if you know how to do that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Volume's really good on these. Actually, I'm gonna turn on my never mind. Cool. Did you put it up?
I am right now.
Okay. Trying to navigate the OBS right now. YouTube. Sorry guys, I'm just checking real quick to make sure this is right on our GFNF page. You can't hear it on the stream?
No.
Really? Can you guys not hear my mic on the stream?
No,
You can't hear it
Let me
unless I'm
unmute
doing
it.
that? You should be able to hear it now too. Even if I don't talk.
Okay, I'm gonna deafen in here. Talk on stream.
Can you hear me when I'm saying it?
Vince, I can hear
I
you
can
on
hear
the
it on
stream.
stream. Yeah,
Yeah,
me
Ace
too.
is the fucking rock. I just can't handle him sometimes. So dumb.
Okay, I posted in links and info.
Okay, sick. All right, yeah, so we're going to go over just like today's news. What's up, Grant? Yeah, Kristen, what's up? Your wife can hear. Ace is just a fucking rock. I wish you would have just left, dude. Fucker.
He begged me to stay.
Uh-huh. All right, so let's just start with I'd say the biggest thing of the day would be the FlyFish.
Yeah.
Even though some big NFT guys I guess didn't hear about it. Who was it, Garrett?
Sorry, just got back. One more time, Vince.
Just leave. Just fucking
What's
leave.
up, man?
I don't know. You were saying somebody big didn't even know about the FlyFish drop today.
Oh yeah, I saw that team ass guy, just one of the
So
NFT
loud.
influencers.
Bro.
He said, "Man, I bought 7,000 Gary V books and I had no idea about this FlyFish drop. What a joke."
What's up, Mitch?
I think a lot of people, it really went under the radar, man. You had pointed out first that Gary V hasn't said anything about this, like at all, anywhere.
I know. I don't know why. Is he almost like trying to keep it under the radar for now, or is it a big cash grab? I believe so much in Gary V. I just don't see how this doesn't turn into like just a huge thing. With only 1.5K items, basically that each of these they get access to basically a private, as it says here, a private New York City location. It consists of bustling cocktail lounge, an upscale restaurant, intimate omakase room, and an outdoor space. And then you just have a huge group of large VCs. I think it's Gary, David. I don't know these other people, but I probably should have looked them up. But I mean, I think that the potential is high, and when you're talking about the NFT space, there's projects that you don't even know who the people are that are well over the floor price of this. So it seemed like a no-brainer to mint. I guess some people minted 40, 50 of them before it was technically supposed to be live. Did you guys hear that?
No way, really?
Yeah,
I did not see
Through the
that.
contract or what?
in our NFT chat, they were talking about that some people were able to mint before it was maybe live on the front end of the site, which would make sense if you think about it.
Go over to the website, Vince, the FlyFish Club, if you've got it pulled up. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. So yeah, it's gonna be located in New York City, and it's basically like the tokens grant you access to the restaurant, but it's not gonna be like what we all understand as a regular restaurant, open normal hours, and then people just go in for a meal. It's gonna be very much like event-based type dining. I think from a sustainability perspective, that's really the only way that a token-based membership like this could actually work, you know, because they'd have to turn away 99.9% of people, obviously. The sheer amount of money that they generated is impressive. I think we crunched it. They sold the mint passes for 2.5 ETH for the base pass, and then 4.5 ETH for this like more exclusive executive level.
Yeah.
And they made like 33 million USD.
Keep in mind that is not all the tokens, because there's reserves of, I believe, pretty similar numbers, right? So 1450 FlyFish and 84 FlyFish omakases held back to VCR ownership to further build the brand. So like basically they're gonna create, as they say, create partnerships, collaborations, sell and gift these other reserves off, which is very, like, it's pretty much the same amount in reserves as for pre-sale and public launch, it looks like. So if you combine these numbers, at least that's what I'm seeing. So
yeah,
could be wrong, but that's how it looks.
The floor shot up to like 4.3, 4.4. Vince bought the top. It's come down a little bit.
You won't be saying that when they're 10 ETH.
Oh, I know. Dude, we've been saying it. Everything Gary touches turns to gold. You literally just can't doubt him, man. He's the ultimate shiller. So, getting into a project like this, especially because it's a new application for a token holder, right? So it's a newer application for an NFT, and it seems really interesting. There's no one else that I'd want to buy into more than Gary, I would say.
I mean, if you like pocket watching, you can see that Fleur bought several of them a couple hours ago. He bought an 8 ETH one. I think he bought 2 or 3. Yeah, 3.9, couple off the floor. So, this NFT sniper guy I know pretty well. He bought something from me at one point. But that was a big drop today. I guess,
dude, let's talk about Pudgy Penguins.
Yeah, the Pudgy Penguin thing is crazy. Because this was 0.6, 0.7 the other night when all the FUD was being spread about the project. And they've only gone up over 1 Ethereum. We had a tweet from a massive whale.
The founder of OpenDAO, the guy that launched that SOS token, 9x9x9. He's literally like the biggest investor in Pudgy Penguins, and he put them on blast out of necessity. Honestly, there was some really, I don't even know what you would say, just shady behavior behind the scenes. They basically had a lot of promises, but no ETH in the bank account. They just kept liquidating all the ETH to the owning members. And 9x9x9 put them on blast with like a really extensive tweet thread, basically detailing his interactions with them from the beginning, including his offer to purchase a portion of the company, and the negotiation process that followed. And really it just painted them in a light that was not flattering at all for the Pudgy Penguins team. And that Cole Ethereum guy, that kid Cole, he already has a really horrible rep at this point.
You guys, we're gonna post it. I'm gonna have somebody post the link to that tweet too, if you want to read through it.
Yeah, I got it.
But I mean, to buy at 0.6, 0.7, it was just like kind of a smart play, because you just had basically a straight down line there for a minute in terms of price. So the correction has been really big. And
What
what
about
is the offer was like he was gonna buy them for what, 700 or 800 ETH at one point?
I want to say that they asked for like
4,000 ETH for 20% equity.
Yeah, 4,000 ETH
Yeah.
for 20% equity.
Because
Now,
they
that was-
valued it at 20K Ethereum for the company valuation. So what is that?
80
20,000 times
Is that-
4,000.
I think that's 80 million.
Let's see. 80 million. Yeah.
Crazy.
I was listening to some guys
Yeah.
talk about this yesterday, and they were just saying how amazing it is that, like, one of the
Look at that.
largest NFT projects walked out with nothing in their treasury.
Yeah, they took out all the funding and to basically not
All
put it
gone.
back in. The Invisible Friends just showed up, and I just can't wait for that project.
So sick.
The play, I think, on these is going to be like we did on Doodles, which I don't even want to talk about, but the play was to buy like devils and really high rare doodles right at reveal. And then obviously if you held till now, you know, incredible gains. I think these are sick, and I think like you could make a good argument that you'll see like within a few days the floor rise on these after the initial sell-off.
Now, let me say this. This is interesting, and I've been thinking about this with Invisible Friends because I've seen some of our members recently say, oh, our Invisible Friends, I think they're going to be the next Doodles, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be the next Doodle. They're not, I mean, with the animate, obviously they're amazing. They're super unique. I love the fact that they're animated GIFs like this. But at the same time, it really does diminish from the profile picture aspect of the project. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's interesting. So I'm not sure, like, are they gonna become a blue chip? That's tough to tell. Another project I really like that's very similar in concept to the Invisible Friends is the Let's Walk by that guy whose
DK.
name is DK.
The DK Motion.
Yeah, so those things, it's kind of the same thing. I thought they would just be amazing, but when you look at them, like, the prices are high, yes, because they're very scarce, but there's really not a lot of sales velocity, and people don't really use them as profile pics. It's not very expedient to do that, so it's interesting, but...
This project has just been around for so long, it just fluctuates a lot. But yeah, you look at the sales volume, like he's saying, it's just, you don't get it often. So...
I saw someone in chat said,
but
I saw Craig's said of someone wanting to hire someone to be really active in Invisible Friends Discord.
so a couple guys in chat I wanted to touch on. Mitchapalooza, are you talking about buying secondary on the Gary V Fish Club? FlyFish? If so,
Yeah,
I did buy secondary because I'm not gonna be quick with any Gary V stuff right now. With 1,500 memberships to an exclusive restaurant, and it's like centered around NFTs, I think that your demand is much higher than 1,500 seats at a Gary V club like that. There's exclusive restaurants where I'm from, and like your yearly fee is 20-30 grand probably, like just to stay in the club. So when you're talking about 4 Ethereum, 16-17 grand for access, it seems like, for lifetime access in New York, a city that's 50 times as well known as my city. I think it's a discount, but I mean, with anything there's risk here. I just think look at other projects where the floor is 4 Ethereum. I don't think you're gonna find many that have as good as an upside as this project. So I did buy. If it gets low enough, I might buy another because I love having two of like each project. That way, if it does go to 5-6 Ethereum, I can sell one and still know that if it moons, I have another one. So yeah, I did buy secondary for that. I used light mode, Garrison, only because this is a guest account. I'm not on my main Gmail. Just so. This is guest right here, so I don't even know if I can edit anything on Twitter.
Yo, let's talk about the World Wide Web land. And just
I pulled that up because, dude, we should show them how cool this is, even though I sold it.
Did you sell it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in this myself. All
Yeah,
right. I bought World Wide Web land. I bought it like literally the day it launched and paper handed it because I had no idea how big it was gonna get. But I bought back in. I got a small apartment and a medium apartment, and it's really cool. It's really built out compared to most like Web
Yeah.
3 metaverse
It's
type
cool.
worlds that I've seen. It's really cool. Yeah, pull that up.
You can move around and like, I mean, there's a lot of people in here. You can change your avatar, but I'm not going to connect my MetaMask or anything right now. But you'll see all the people just like hanging out and stuff. It's like there's not much here. It's why I sold, to be honest. I don't know. Obviously, it could turn into something really cool, but yeah, I mean, it's better than 95% of projects that say they're gonna have some sort of like game or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I sold.
Yeah, because this thing actually is really interactive. You can integrate any of your other like avatar projects and walk around as that. I saw guys bounce around like cyberkongs and whatnot.
Hey, there's a larva
look
lad.
look at the party right there. Boom. That's funny, man. Yeah, this game's interesting. I'm not really sure how to accumulate how to do stuff yet, but we were messing around in it last night and it was cool. So I don't know. As far as metaverse land, are you bullish on the concept as a whole, like sandbox lands, anything else like that, Vince?
I think if you're gonna buy land, I mean, like I'm saying, like I think sandbox is a much safer, much better play than those web things, just because of how much bigger it is. I mean, and more well known. Every company like it has their sandbox land, and I mean any big projects. So I don't know. I think if you can get into a massive world where land matters and you own land and somehow you're making some sort of token or something by, I don't know, just say renting out something on your property or whatever, like that's gonna happen at some point, but what it's gonna be, nobody knows.
Right, definitely.
What project, I should say. So
the market as a whole, like for the last couple days, it feels a little bit topped out right now. We're seeing a lot of the projects that led the charge of this bull run cool off, including Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Doodles. All of them have come down a decent percentage from their highs that they hit on this cycle, and volume has slowed down as well as a result. So right now, in the current state of the market, I think exiting positions is really the priority. Taking profits. If you had any like junk in your wallet that was 0.05, 0.002, go ahead and check that, because you'd be surprised. A lot of those projects right now are 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, and it's interesting. But as far as long-term plays, man, I really am trying to get a mutant before the ape token drops, because that's seriously going to melt faces, man. Vince, what are the numbers on ape tokens speculatively that you've heard floating around? I know you've rattled them off a couple times.
Well, back when Bored Ape was like 45, 50 ETH and Mutant Ape was like 7 or 8 ETH, they were basically saying if they distributed tokens at the current market value that you would say the Bored Ape Yacht Club is worth, distributed tokens equally to like the Bored Ape owners would get 70% of the tokens, and the Mutant Ape holders would get 30% of the tokens. Bored Ape holders at 45 ETH, those people would be making like 87% of that. So they'd basically be getting close to the amount that their Bored Ape was worth. And then the Mutant Ape holders would be actually making over 8 Ethereum, like closer to 10 Ethereum. So if you had a Mutant Ape, you would get more than the Mutant Ape was worth in the ape token. So then like you could just sell the ape token and pay off your entry on a floor mutant. I don't know if that's the case now that the prices have gone up. Obviously, if we're talking 15 ETH floor on mutants, you're no longer getting 15 ETH, you're getting closer to 10 in the ape token. This is speculation, of course, but it seems like if you were to enter a blue chip entering Bored Ape, Mutant Ape, whatever, you could potentially pay off that entry if they do distribute the ape token in that manner. So that was kind of like a pretty good analysis by somebody on Twitter who has some clout, I guess you could say.
Accumulating blue chips should be everyone's goal, you know, like taking projects on any of the small flips or scalps, little Solana mints, stuff like that, and flowing that into these bigger projects and positioning yourself long term in this market if you believe in it, which obviously we do. Long term, dude, the Bored Ape Yacht Club as a brand, just the brand identity that it has is it's immense, and it's growing every single day. So yeah, positioning yourself, if it's a Bored Ape Kennel Club, Mutant, Doodle, Cool Cats, these types of projects, you know, I'd be working your way into and up to and trying to hold for the long run. If there's one overarching principle that I learned from NFTs over the last year, 8 months, it's that to never exit your blue chip positions. Once you get them, just cling on to them for dear life.
Yeah, somebody asked about the big time NFTs. I've been looking at these. I've looked at them like, I feel like once every 2 weeks for the past 2 or 3 months. They put this founders collection on the front page of OpenSea several months ago, and that's when I first was looking at them. And then I was sent somewhere you could buy these big time, like rare, like different big time things, and I don't know where that is at this point. But you paid, I think, like it had it listed in like real cash, I think. I didn't buy any, but I mean, like, big time is huge. It's literally, what do they say? They've worked on Fortnite, Gears of War, Call of Duty, and Overwatch. So like, when you're talking a company or a team that could actually make a game, this is what we're talking about. So somebody is going to have a World of Warcraft game, a Call of Duty game, a huge game where it's tied to NFTs, and you find items, whatever, and then you can sell those items for probably some sort of token, some sort of cryptocurrency, and then obviously you take that token and you sell it for Ethereum, Bitcoin, whatever. Basically, you're making money, so it's play to earn. That's gonna happen, and so, you know, if you're gonna bet on a company, this seems like a smart bet for that sort of project. So yeah, I mean, I can't say don't buy this, because I think it's a solid buy when we're talking about NFTs and games, but it would probably take like years, in my opinion, for this to pan out. Games take a long time.
Definitely. Adrian said World Wide Web fighting game. No, I don't think there's any fighting in it yet. I tried to bump into a few people when I was walking around last night, but no fights occurred. So.
Okay. Yeah, you could buy with a credit card. That's what I saw. Like, you could literally pay cash. I think they're probably sold out now. I don't know if you can. This doesn't seem legitimate because there's 7 owners. So I'm gonna say this isn't.
It's a verified collection, though.
No, dude. I'm talking about the space here. These are totally different. This is, yeah. So like these VIP passes, I think, give you like early access and stuff. These are like one of ones, I think, over here that are like really big money or something. I don't really know. This is honestly a project that I personally need to look into more, because every time I see it, I don't buy anything. I'm never actionable, and people ask about it, and it always brings me back to like looking at it. And, you know, it looks really cool. Team's amazing. How far off is like any sort of game or whatever? No, not sure. I'm sure like plenty of you guys know way more than me about it, and I'm sure own some of this stuff. So, put NFT before that's where space is listed. Big time NFT maybe. Oh, here we go. Browse NFTs. Okay, yeah, so here we go. Wow, I think these rare... Wait. These were so much cheaper. Oh, rare small. Never mind. Okay, these seem like the right price. I feel like I was looking at that. I hope I wasn't looking at this, because they're like $500. Are you guys familiar with these at all? Any of you other guys in the call?
No,
I've
not
seen
so
a-
much. I've seen people talking
I've
about
seen,
them.
yeah, NFT chat likes them.
NFT chat. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
when
I
I
talked
see
about them with
them
guys
in
in
there.
AML.
I see them in there, and I'm like, what's going on with that again? You know, and I've just never bought any
Yeah.
of this stuff.
Pump Master Becker has mentioned it a lot.
That guy is a master, yeah.
Yeah, no lie.
Okay, let's switch gears out of NFTs.
Yeah, I was
Let's
gonna
go-
say someone just Derek just asked about Mosaic. He said Mosaic basketball, please. I want to broaden the scope a little bit rather than talk just about Mosaic basketball as an individual product. Let's talk about Fanatics acquiring Tops. Some of the speculation about what we're going to be seeing in the immediate future, and then the near future once the logistics actually occur. But really interesting. I mean, I think everyone that was paying attention knew that this was Fanatics' next play. Didn't really make sense for them to try to brand cards under their own label, like call them Fanatics First or anything like that. It would have never got the hobby's recognition. So acquiring Tops and getting all the labels that come underneath Tops, like Bowman, Sapphire, it's powerful. It's actually going to be pretty amazing. So yeah, they acquired Tops the other day for 500 million USD, slightly upwards of 500 million. And that's after Tops got a valuation, I want to say, at 1.3 billion US dollars. Now, the discrepancy, and there was a lot of people that were dogging Tops for selling for 500 million when the valuation showed them at 1.3 billion. But I do believe that 1.3 billion dollar valuation actually occurred before Fanatics got the MLB license. So, and you can see how that makes sense, right? I mean, if everything just continued the way it was without any changes, and Tops retained that license, then obviously I think that they would have a much higher valuation. But with the inevitability of Tops losing the MLB license, aka their bread and butter for what they're making money on as far as card products, it clearly makes sense that the buyout occurred for way less than that 1.3 billion dollar number. Still huge. There's some people thinking that they could be looking to buy Panini out next, but I definitely don't think that that's going to be the case. Panini's too new of a brand. Prism, Optic, these product lines don't have the type of grip in the hobby that Bowman does, and the Tops products. So quite the opposite. I think that Upper Deck could be one of the next moves. And I know that I'm not sure if Nico's in this call still.
Yep.
But Nico, what's up, man? Yeah, we're talking
What up?
talking Fanatics, man. So I know Upper Deck speculation is a big one because that would obviously. So for those that don't know, Upper Deck holds the license. They have exclusive licensing for LeBron James autographs and Michael Jordan autographs, and obviously they have the hockey licensing, like NHL as well. So if Fanatics were to acquire Upper Deck, then really all bets are off, and any card product that you can think of, they could do it. They could do like LeBron, Bronny, dual autos, Jordan, LeBron, Jordan, Zion, and anything, right? Not that Jordan, Zion is even irrelevant.
Jordan, Zion.
Well, I'm just saying it based off the other year's hype and conversation, but you know what I'm saying. They can put together any big rookie with any of the OGs if they acquire Upper Deck. So it's huge. Yeah, Nico, what are some of your thoughts on that acquisition?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be good on a couple fronts. I know Fanatics came out and said, like, they're in charge now. They're taking over all the production. So it'd be interesting to see, like, from a quality perspective. Yeah. I read in the article that, they're taking the lead on this. So I'm going to assume that anything that's not printed yet, designed yet, is technically going to be under the Fanatics brand and under their watch. So, quality control is like one of the biggest things with a lot of people in the hobby. It sucks when you spend thousands of dollars on these things, open a box, and then, your best card you get is either just like completely scratched up, destroyed, and then, trying to deal with these companies, especially Tops, which like has non-existent customer service, is just frustrating. So I think people are just like kind of hoping there's, a better overall customer experience with all this. But I totally agree with the Upper Deck. I just think you get a LeBron and Bronny James dual auto, and like people are going to go nuts for that. I think, people love the Topps basketball cards, the football cards. So I think it's gonna be cool. And then I think, just to kind of tie back into the NFT talk, people forget about the candy NFT, which is, they have Gary V's involved with that as well, and they have the official license for digital assets for the MLB, and we've seen Top Shot with the NBA, and it spiked pretty high, and there's still a market for it. So kind of interested to see what kind of route they take with that, and try to tie that in.
Yep, definitely. And one big thing that you had mentioned the other day, Nico, that I heavily agree with, is that putting emphasis on Fanatics will likely be taking a very heavy direct-to-consumer approach. I mean, they put out a lot of money just to get these deals done, and they're gonna they're gonna be optimizing their supply chain and like the distribution of these cards. Right now, in the current state of the hobby, it's kind of, I mean, frankly, to put it candidly, it's kind of a charity for some of these local hobby shops, for some of these like middlemen type companies, whether it's like breakers, hobby shops. I mean, there's hobby shops getting boxes of national treasures for what, $100, $200, and then they're just selling them for literally $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a box. That's charity from Panini or Topps or whoever it was that signed these backroom deals back in the day, years ago, right before the hobby turned into what it is today. But Fanatics, you better believe they've crunched the numbers on every single penny of potential profit, and they're going to optimize, because it's going to take them some time to make that initial investment back. I don't think that they're going to completely completely demolish the hobby shops, but I could see them having like maybe some slight discounts for hobby shops, maybe priorities to order some new products, and then maybe some exclusive hobby products, but nothing like national treasures for $200 a box going to them or anything like that. I believe that those days are going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't think they can completely demolish hobby shops. I think that would be a terrible move on their part.
Right.
Just because
like
that's
the
part of the
grassroots
experience
of the hobby.
Yeah, people like to go with their kids, buy a box, open it, look at cards and stuff in the stores. The online presence is definitely important, but they would really make a big mistake if they did that. But I know they have something I was thinking about was like a potential like Fanatics brick and mortar. I know they have a store, I think, out in LA for the PSG deal that they did with the soccer team. So I
Yeah.
thought maybe they might toss around the idea of possibly having their own brick and mortar kind of hobby shop.
Like a chain. That's a really interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, because one thing, I think a lot of people, I know me personally, before I really last year, really looked into the depth of Fanatics and how massive of a company they are. Dude, they own everything. Like they own they own lids, like the store lids. And a bunch of other like sport oriented type shop, like chain stores like that, right? So they've got the experience and infrastructure to run a type of chain operation like that. So that's actually that's the first time I've heard that, Nico, and I kind of like, my gut agrees with you that I could see them doing almost like their own LCS hobby shops across the country, just like Fanatics brand.
I mean, they have the money and the power to just even go buy a company that's already established with brick and mortar, kind of like how Amazon went and bought Whole Foods, to get into the supermarket game. But yeah, I think it's possible they might try it out in big cities. There is an MLB store in New York, and they sell Topps products there, so could totally see them trying it out in Chicago, New York, LA type situation. But yeah, they might try the online thing first, but could definitely see them trying to get into the brick and mortar space.
That would be smart of them, man.
Yeah,
I could totally, because it's such an important part of the hobby. Like you said, the experience of going to the store, picking out cards with your kid or with your friend or whatever it is, ripping them open, seeing if you get lucky. A lot of people like to rip them open right in the store that they buy them from for good luck. You know what I mean? It's really part of the experience. So yeah, now that you say that, Nico, it honestly would feel foolish for them not to try to pursue something like that, at least starting with a few flagship locations in the big cities.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Go ahead, McKay.
To your point, I don't think people understand like how much traffic Fanatics gets just from like college merchandise apparel alone. Like they are able to say like University of North Carolina, right? They're signed with Nike. So like all of their apparel is officially licensed through Nike. They are not allowed to make Adidas apparel for their sports teams. I mean, obviously for them it's their Jordan brand, which is just a branch of Nike. Those guys can't go and start making Adidas apparel, but Fanatics is allowed to make custom, they are allowed to use the UNC logo on any merchandise, regardless of the brand that's printed on, and sell them for whatever price they care for on their site. Like, that's how much power Fanatics has. They're allowed to sell any color at any price. And so I think, like, so much of their sales come from that, which people do not realize.
Yeah, what's Fanatics about? They're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Like, they are mega. They're massive.
Yeah.
Let me look
they own NBA store. They have NBA store. They have lids. They're huge. And I was completely oblivious until like 4 or 5 months ago just how much of the college apparel merchandising they handled, regardless if they own the rights to it.
So Fanatics, as of August, so 4 or 5 months ago, was valuated at $18 billion. So yeah, that's
dang,
massive.
That's crazy.
18
yeah, I
billion.
believe it.
Huge.
Wow.
That's like a mega corporation for real.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Cool. So Vince, in the title too, daily resale opportunities. What are your daily resale opportunities right now? What are you hot on?
Well, it was the Gary V NFT. That's gone.
Gotcha.
The rest of today?
No, not even today. Just in general, things that you're looking at that have your eye for the near future.
Mindfolk, which is the Solana project. Watching that as like a flip. I don't know if we have any other Solana drops today. There was one earlier. I think I have it on here. Yeah, Solana Doodle Apes was one from earlier, but it looks like they're not approved on Magic Eden yet. I would be looking out for Solana mints, but I don't think there's any more today.
As far as just a general resale topic for us to kind of, end on, I think let's talk a little bit about consoles. Obviously, consoles got the MVP for, Flip of the Year 2021. We were steady making money on them for an entire year and a half, and we still are to some capacity. But yeah, I think, I think that there's a lot of speculation about that market and aftermarket and what's going to happen. So
Goonie Tunes, I forgot. That's today too. Goonie Tunes would be the last Solana thing today. So, and Solana mints the past couple weeks have been like really, really good. So it's what I'm looking for. Yeah, consoles. I think personally, if you took a chart and you had the supply when it started at 0 and it just increased every single day as they produced more, I think we're to a point where we've seen supply meet demand and the lines have intersected here. But that's my personal opinion. I think most people disagree with that opinion, but that's just my feeling on it psychologically right now.
I don't think most of us disagree.
Go ahead. Okay, got it. So my opinion on that, Vince, I think that we've seen peak prices. I think that we've seen peak console prices, but I definitely don't think that we're at a point where everyone has a console and we're not going to see any price increases. It would just take a little bit of supply shock, in my opinion. I do agree that consoles, obviously, they're a lot different than sneakers or sports cards or a lot of other categories of stuff that we're buying where they need replaced. You rip the cards open, you wear the sneakers down, whatever it is. Consoles, it's really something you plug in and then you have it for whatever 5, 6, 7 years and you don't need another one. So when it does get to that end consumer, that is a -1 for the total consumers and demand on that item class. But with that being said, the demand, the proof's in the pudding, dude. You list a console wherever it is, like Facebook Marketplace, eBay, StockX, it's gone in seconds still, literally, right? They're still being snatched up extremely quickly. So I do believe that there's a lot of people out there that, hate the idea of buying from a scalper, haven't paid resale for it. They're still trying to get one. Maybe it's for their kid or something like that. And there's still a lot of demand that needs to be met. But we need some supply shock for prices to take any type of sharp increase. We would need a few weeks with negligible console restocks, and right now we've gotten the opposite. We're just getting bigger and bigger restocks between Amazon and Target. Obviously, Walmart's a little overdue at this point, so we expect to see good supply there eventually too. But we need that to curtail a little bit in order for prices to bounce back. And like I said, I think that we've definitely peaked. I don't think that people are going to be flipping these things for $1,100, $1,200, $1,400 again, anything like that. But as far as getting back to like a healthy 700 to 775 range, I don't think that that's an unrealistic possibility.
Yeah, I just don't think that PlayStation's gonna not meet the demand anymore. But that's just how I feel about it. Because I don't see them like having the supply issues that they had last quarter 1, quarter 2 of last year. But
Sony
possible.
is still slumped. I don't know if you're here, but didn't Sony just recently make another announcement that they are having major supply chain issues right now with those?
Yep. So it was a couple of weeks ago. They said that there was a big chip shortage coming this year. I do believe that this past restock was hopefully the tail end of the end of their surplus. So I think going forward, maybe besides Walmart, we're going to see far less restocks. When we do see restocks, going to be much lower quantity. I do think we have a bit to go before, like you said, we see that big price jump again. But it made me very optimistic yesterday when we had a big drop that people were panicking over, and we saw the price hit sub 600 even just on StockX, and they recovered almost by the end of the day fully.
Right.
So it does make me a bit more optimistic for the future of these, at least for now. But yeah, kind of going to Vince's point, it will not last forever. Everyone who wants one will eventually get one, but I still think we got a little bit to go.
Definitely. And we just roll with the punches, man. I mean, the interesting thing about these kind of shaky supply chains, shaky economies all over the place, like there will be constant opportunity if you're looking to scalp in to aftermarkets and make money flipping stuff. But yeah, consoles have served us extremely well. Extremely well. And I don't think I'm personally not done buying them. I'm still buying PS5s at this point. Obviously taking a break from Xboxes. We'll see where that one goes. But yeah, that's kind of where I stand on it. So
yeah, and
cool.
I would be, if I had to give advice, like I would not, if you're heavy consoles, I would venture off into other markets like NFTs and stuff, because there's opportunities every day in every category. And right now I would say NFTs has the highest upside, even if you just focused on Solana, where the entry is much lower than Ethereum and much more simple, especially if you're just using the biggest platform, Magic Eden, to mint from Magic Eden. It's also what, like, I kind of stopped personally botting 8 to 10 months ago, and that's why I started doing vinyl initially. And now vinyl is just, the demand for vinyl has just been straight up. I put some information in our Discord about how last year was like the largest growth I think ever, or at least in like the past 20 or 30 years for vinyl. I see that only increasing more. Feels like cards a year and a half ago, kind of. So, I mean, I would personally say, like, obviously you can't just rely on any category. Some of you guys probably made a ton of money buying consoles where I didn't. But I would say try to diversify out of just consoles and maybe cards or something. But I know guys crush it with those categories. So if you're kind of just like held up with, my mind and my abilities can only focus on those two things, that makes complete sense. But yeah, I could see consoles being fine for 6 months to a year again, but at the same time, there's plenty of opportunities in other categories. So
Yes, sir.
Is there anything
Cool.
else we had here?
I don't think so. I think that pretty well hits the topic. It's been going about 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
We'll plan on touching base next Monday. We'll try to do this Monday through Friday.
The plan is to make this very consistent.
Yeah, I think 30 to 40 minutes is good too. Unless anybody has any questions, we can head off.
No,
M83 was tough. Sorry, Loch Ness.
Cool. Calling this one?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Let's do it. See you guys on
See you guys next
Monday.
week.
Have an awesome weekend. Yo, thank you guys for listening.
Don't forget,
Seriously.
we have our 2-year anniversary on Sunday. So
Yep.
I don't know. Some of you guys obviously weren't here for the first one. It's going to be sick. We'll have a lot of giveaways, and it'll just be really fun. So,
Yep.
we'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
Can't wait.